What is happening, YouTube? I'm back 2 days in a row. We got some sales, man. I still don't, still nothing crazy, but we did have some sales between yesterday and today. So that's a plus. We're at least starting the week off in the right direction. Nothing crazy, but hopefully your sales are going well. I kind of felt eBay was dead. I'm still not quite sold that anything's fixed yet, but you know what? We've had some sales, so that's we're going in the right direction. If you don't know, my name is Joe. Welcome to the channel. I've been reselling since 2000, since my college days, and full-time for about 8 years now. So anyway, we're going to show off just a few sales. Nothing crazy. We did get a couple good sales, but nothing crazy. But yeah, so we're going to just show some stuff off. I don't have a whole lot to go over today, any topic or anything to really cover. I ended up buying a new TV. Our TV's like 14 years old. So last night I splurged and decided to buy a new TV. So, so there's that. That's about all I got to share. Yeah. So anyway, this will be a short video because we only have 5 sales to show off. So let me get my iPad up and running, and then we'll show what we got or what sold. I did put a bunch of stuff up on eBay between yesterday and today again. So, you know, hopefully we'll keep getting some sales. Most of the stuff that sold has been newer stuff that sold between yesterday and today. So I like when some older things sell too. But anyway, starting off, we sold an Indigo Game Boy Advance. That sold for $80 plus shipping. So that was a pretty good sale. And then right after that, we had this sell, which, you know, my game bundles have been sitting. It's like, man, I don't understand, but a GameCube with controller and Star Fox sold for, it also has obviously the power cord and the AV cord, but that sold for $120 plus shipping. So that was nice. So yesterday was a good day. I hit my goal of 200, right? We're good to go. So again, we're starting the week off in the right direction at least. So that's a plus. And if you don't know what I like to do, and I don't do daily. I mean, I look at my daily, but I don't really stress about daily. I more so look at the weekly. So for me and my family, what I need, I run 2 businesses. So I do this full time, and or I guess you could say part time and the other part time. But anyway, however you want to look at it. But between this and my other business, you know, as far as this goes, what I need to get out of it is $1,400. Or my goal is $1,400 a week. My minimum is $700, so basically $100 a day. But I would, you know, my goal is $200 a day, so that would put me at $1,400 for the week. So that's just kind of give you an idea. Anything over that's great, but that's kind of where I would like to be regularly. Again, for me and my family, for our lifestyle and what we do and how we do things. That's you know, between that and combination of my other business, things work well. But you know, you gotta kind of know where you need to be. So that's where we need to be. And so far we're going in that direction. So those 2 sales, 200. Then this sold Pac-Man, Super Nintendo in the box, complete, sold for $26.75. So that puts us up to right about 226. Mario Party on DS sold for $16 plus shipping. So 16 plus shipping. So was that 226, 36, 42 if I'm doing my math right, 242. And then the last thing that sold was a VMU. This actually sold this morning, but it's in this bundle. It's from yesterday to today. VMU Blue for Sega Dreamcast. It does work. I just turned it off, but it does power up and it does work. I replace the batteries in these typically, so make sure they're working and stuff. But that sold for $30. So 226 plus 30, 256 plus shipping. So not terrible. That's kind of where I want to be. That's where the zone is of where I would like to be. That's goal. So we're in a good place. So I'm not saying eBay's dead, but sure enough, for the past 2 weeks. Now my wife did say, well, Joe, it's been spring break last week and this week, and even next week for, you know, like our daughters start spring break next week. But a lot of folks, kids, it's been this week or last week. So this is spring break time, you know, so she kind of, you know, emphasized that. And I was like, okay, fair. Maybe that's why it's been a bit dry lately. But we'll see. I don't know. List. I haven't had a chance to go on. I mentioned it yesterday about going on and doing promoted listings and promote things and cut prices, because typically that's usually what it is, because I start premium. So my downfall fall or my flaw is the fact that I post things at a premium because I do video games and I niched into video games. Although I do sell other things and I know about other things, I enjoy video games, so that's kind of what I stick to mainly. So, but I clean, test, repair, sanitize, whatever, and I do these, I put a lot of time and a lot of times when you get stuff from eBay for game stuff, you don't know what you get. A lot of times condition may say good condition, but it's not, it's dirty, it's janky, it's whatever. And there are other, obviously it's the flip side of that. There's folks like me that actually take pride in the stuff and sell good quality, clean, used items, from retro gaming. So, replace batteries, thumb pads, whatever needs to be done to make it a nice bundle. So I shoot for a premium. So I know my stuff sits sometimes longer than it should. But like when I get 120 out of a GameCube with one game, that's pretty good because GameCubes are selling for like $80. So the one game's like $30. So it's like, that together I got pretty much premium as if I was selling it separate. But that's that for a while. So that's one of my flaws. I try to go in periodically and do discounts on like items that are more than like 6 months or 3 months, 3 to 6 months or older. Do promos on those and slash prices on those things because 9 times out of 10 I've already made my money on other things in the bundle. So it's like, or it's better to start getting some cash flow out of that stuff versus it just sitting. So anyway, those are just little things that I periodically do. That you would definitely want to consider, which is super simple when you go into eBay. There's new promotion options, and I haven't really played with the newer ones. There's even one that does your stuff outside of eBay, which I always thought the regular promoted listings, the old school promoted listings, did that anyway, because I get a lot of people that would be like a first time eBay buyer, zero feedback a lot of times, so I'd imagine they were just Googling something, saw it, and I guess they would have seen it through eBay though, but I guess through Google, I don't know how that works. I'd imagine they're Googling it, because a lot of them are overseas and stuff like that. They find it on eBay and then they start an account and buy it, or even here local in the States, but start an account and then buy it because that's why I got the zero feedback. I'd imagine that's maybe how the promoted listings work, but then I heard that it's just internally on eBay, so I don't really know. I do use them, so however they work, I've been using them for a long time, and it does always seem to do pretty well and get me some additional sales. Now, again, eBay's launched some newer options, so like ones that you only pay if they actually purchase and things, and some other ones that go, like I said, the ads go outside of eBay. So probably need to start looking into some of that. And I also thought about cross listing. I keep seeing like Commonwealth and ADH Dave and these guys that I watch from time to time, keep pumping the cross listing. I mean, I've always, if I've hit my goal and stuff, it's been, but now lately, obviously, if you're not hitting goal, those things, you start to kind of reevaluate life a little bit. Like, well, maybe I should, because I have good stuff, but, I'm only, somebody told me one time an analogy, and I guess this is kind of plays true here. You got a shark out in the ocean, you're using a pair of binocular, a one-sided, to look for it. You're not going to see it because you're zoned in on just that one spot. So like eBay is like, boom, it's one avenue. You want a pair, I think that's binoculars, where it gives you a wider range where you can see more of the ocean and what's going on. And, then you can see that shark. So the optics, as far as, so eBay is kind of like it's one avenue. I want to get more eyes on my stuff. So I need to open up the horizon a bit. And so that's, I guess, maybe a good or bad analogy. I don't know. But that's kind of, I've thought about going down that path and starting with one of these cross-platforming sites. So at some point, I may decide to do it. It's another thing where I've talked about it before. I juggle both businesses. So, if the other business is doing well, I tend to kind of focus there. If this is going well, I tend to focus here. It's hard to juggle both and have the same effort for both. It always seems kind of teeter-totter. Balance is great, and there's times where it's pretty close, but there's always... So that's one of those things is I'm kind of focused a little bit more on that right now. And so the cross listing hasn't been a priority or something I've dug into or wanted to really sit down and focus on for an hour or two of my time to figure it out, or even more of my time to figure that out. That's the one thing, the teach old dog new tricks. I get it, because it's time is money and money is value, or time is valuable. It's our biggest asset really is time, or commodity, whatever it is, however you want to call it, but we only have so much of it. And so, if I have to sit down for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours to figure something out, that it feels daunting. So I decide not to do it. Is it going to take that long? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But it's just that that the unknown, not knowing how to do it, not having a lot of help, not having a lot of direction, jumping into it by yourself. That's always more daunting. And that's what it is with cross-platform. I'm not going to know. I've never done it. Don't know anybody that's doing it outside of these guys just kind of talking about it. So I'm sure there's some of y'all that are probably in the same boat that I'm in that kind of feel that same way. But at some point, I'm going to dive in and try it and go through those hurdles. And a lot of times it's not as bad as you think it is. It's just it's a mental block at the early stage, at the beginning. Which as that teeter-totter shifts over to my other business doing well, and I can kind of focus more on this, then maybe that's when I maybe sooner than later, maybe later than sooner, but at some point doing the cross listing is definitely would be beneficial. So I can see how on a day I only have 2 eBay sales, but I have a sale on Macari or sale on Poshmark. Like, awesome. Now on the back end of that, how does that work? Do I have to make sure I remove the listings afterwards? Do they auto remove? That'd be a perfect world. Like, it'd be nice if you post something on eBay or on one of those cross listing and it goes on all the sites, which may be how it actually exactly how it works. But I've heard there's a lot of little hurdles and hiccups with all this stuff and nuances with each one. And then obviously when it sells, it pulls it off automatically. And that's another issue, nuances and issues with some do or don't do that. So I've heard. So again, those are just those things that you kind of why you kind of maybe decide, I'm not going to do it yet, because there's those little things they're just like, I don't want to deal with that. But I'd rather have some extra sales, so it's worth it. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about, right? I mean, this is what we're doing full time. So any extra sales you can get into is, it's all about moving your stuff. One thing I've said before, it's not hard getting stuff. The hard part is selling stuff. So trust and believe, a lot of people that don't do this on the outside looking in think, man, how do you get all this stuff? That'd be the hard part. And selling's the easy part. No. Getting the stuff is the easy part. Going out hunting and getting and sourcing is the easy part. The hard part is being able to process and sell and get. So again, eBay has been very good for many, 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 many years. Obviously, there's competition with eBay now. A lot of different platforms are competing with eBay. A lot of eyeballs are going different places. A lot of the newer generation likes to shop live versus scrolling and clicking and picking something on based on pictures. So that it's somewhat of a generational change in that aspect as well. So you got a lot of older people that are still the old school eBay, but then a lot of the newer younger folks are more on the TikToks and the whatnots, because it's live there action, or they're sucked into Amazon, so they just buy stuff on Amazon. Like what I'm saying is there's eyes in other places. There's a lot of eyes in other places. So eBay's still a power player, but definitely be a good idea to start cross listing. So that's certainly on my radar of things to dive into at some point. So hopefully this helped. I'm going to jump off here. I got to get the stuff packed for the mail lady so I don't miss her. And then I'm heading off to Jersey Mike's. So I don't know. I think I'm going to go roast beef today. I haven't had a roast beef in a long time. Tell me what your favorite sub is if you watch this long. Thank y'all for hanging out. Happy Tuesday. Hopefully your sales are going well, because mine are decent, at least from yesterday to today. Now we'll see how tomorrow shakes out. It's always one of those things. Always a fun ride on the reselling journey. So enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see y'all tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe and like or share or comment. Give me some comments. I want to know that y'all are out there actually watching. Bye, everybody.